Hello, and welcome to Marvel Universe, where we are going to look at some comic books called Marvel Universe. They are the Marvel version of DC's Who's Who, and they talk about various characters within the Marvel Universe. I'm going to let the music dominate because it's a cold winter's day. It's rather chilly, and if you're cold where you are, I hope that you can try to maintain your body temperature by warming up with hot beverages and whatever type of heating technology you have. So here we go. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Deluxe Edition, Sift to Sunspot, so the S's. And right on the cover we have the symbiote costume for Spider-Man. The year is 1986. Silver Surfer, Storm, and Fantastic Four guy, and others. Sif. Silvermane. Silver Sable. Leader of the Wild Pack. She's a foreign agent that fights Spider-Man sometimes. Silver Samurai, Silver Surfer. I'll be doing an episode of Silver Surfer since I have a few of his. The former herald to Galactus. Now fights for freedom against Galactus and other despotic galactic powers of death and destruction. He represents the spark of life and the right for beings to exist and not be consumed by others, which is very interesting. So I don't know what he eats himself. He seems to just exist based on pure energy type stuff. But the way that he's illustrated is very interesting. You'll notice, let's see if it shows it here. Not really so reflective here, but he is almost pure white or silver. The reflection on his skin will pick up other colors, but generally tends to look like chrome. And so there is black, but it sort of represents the bending of light of other colors on chrome. You'll just get the bending of those colors into the contour of his muscles. And that comes out basically like it would with chrome if he was covered in chrome or high polished silver. And silver is interesting because, like bronze, to get it to look like very shining. You have to polish it every so often. My father would always polish our silver set, and I always thought that was so high society of him. Okay, Sin Eater, Siren, the Scrolls. I think they are being used currently in some series like S.H.I.E.L.D. I think it's Scrolls, and some other ones, the Kree. Okay, there's... Yeah, I'm not clear on the difference between Kree and the Scrolls. I guess the Scrolls have the weird chin, much like Thanos. But they're little green people with pointed ears, and the Kree look like something blue. Now they look blue with chin guards or something. Slide. Snooks. These are very 1970s style guys here. Soviet super soldiers, space knights, speed demon, another Spider-Man foe. He's quick like the Flash. And here's Spider-Man with both of his costumes: the alien symbiote, the black Venom suit, and the traditional Spider-Man with his wrestling style outfit. This is cool because it shows his web shooting, a cross section.
So how do we do it? It seems like a task. Can I change my own state of consciousness? And so you have created another big problem. You could fall back into the same problematic sense of self, and now you add something to the already very heavy and problematic sense of self that says, I need to get out of this state of consciousness. I need to reach a new state of consciousness. How do I get there? Another problem. This is often the problem for spiritual people. They see something and it becomes a desirable state to be achieved at some point in the future. And the need to achieve something in the future lies at the core of the mind-made sense of self. The insufficiency, the sense of lack, all that is at the core of the mind-made sense of self. So many spiritual people fall into the trap of then striving towards some mentally created ideal sense of self or perfection. That's the trap of spirituality, of not realizing that the transformation of consciousness that is at the essence of the religions and the original teachings, those founders of those ancient religions, I call them early flowers of humanity, early openings, very early. And a few others came, some we know of, some we probably never heard of.
The Submariner, like Aquaman.
Now, for the first time, there's the possibility of more than a few isolated flowers opening, a flowering of human consciousness on a much larger scale. So they all pointed to that possibility of that transformation of consciousness. Now the human mind looked at it and said, that sounds very good. And it made it into a distant object to be achieved in the future. But if you look at all the original teachings, there's an emphasis on here and now, on the present moment, as the key, the entry point into that state of consciousness. Now, that's been covered up by all kinds of mind stuff, belief structures, future, time. Almost every religion gives you time to achieve, to become, and misses the essence, which says time won't get you there. You cannot get out of that old state of consciousness by adding time, by giving yourself more time, or even by adding content to your mind through further experiences, through further knowledge, through maybe all kinds of spiritual experiences, whether spiritual or otherwise, doesn't matter. But this need to add more before I can be myself. And of course, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with acquiring knowledge. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having new experiences. That is one aspect of our existence here in form, is to investigate, to explore, and all these things require time. To explore something requires time. To learn a new skill, it requires time. To absorb new knowledge requires time. To become good at something requires time. And future, on that level, I'm not denying it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. It operates beautifully. But there's something more vital that most humans miss, although in a deeper sense they're all looking for it. And that is knowing who you are beyond the form in which you appear.
So Bullseye has been used recently in the Punisher series, and actually, Daredevil. But he is related. He kind of goes in that circle. Let me see, of vigilantes. So, right within Marvel, Bullseye's used in the Daredevil show. So let me correct that. Not Punisher, but Daredevil. And Daredevil has to deal with Bullseye because Bullseye is given his suit by the Kingpin. So Bullseye goes around impersonating Daredevil and committing murders. And I think that follows the comic books. So he is a very interesting character. I first saw him in a Captain America, actually, with Crossbones. And but yeah, Apocalypse is a really interesting character. Archangel, of course, had real feather wings, but this is his reborn version. And Apocalypse is on par with Thanos and Darkseid. Of course, Darkseid being DC. But they look very similar. They have that Thundar the Barbarian villain look of a post-apocalyptic world. That uses technology as magic. But very interesting. Captain Britain. Oh yeah, there was the Bucky type character. Battlestar. He's like a Bucky character for a sidekick to Captain America, but he introduced the concept of a black Captain America. Of course, the white Captain America wears a black suit when he's the U.S. agent. Cat people. The cat people are a race of demons in the form of humanoid cats who inhabit another dimensional netherworld. Cat people originated roughly 1,000 years ago when a human sorcerer on Earth named Brock magically transformed 2 house cats into sentient humanoid cats. Some interesting backstory here. The now demonic cat people of the land within still exist and have fallen under the domination of Belasco. Greer Nelson, the new Tigra, is currently a member of the West Coast Avengers. So that was update 89. These are all updates. They're all 89 updates. But the first one that I have is 86. So these are 89. Buffy the Vampire Slayer writer-director goes with S.H.I.E.L.D. It's very interesting, the spy versus spy. I don't know, James Bond type, secret agent thing where, people are backstabbing each other because they work for different bosses, and, even Captain America now in the comics is, I think, a Hydra agent. So they've rewritten that story, or come up with a twist, and that's interesting because Hydra, of course, is associated with Nazis. So how can Captain America have been a Nazi if he was fighting Nazis on the front lines and taking out their bosses? So it really questions the double agent, triple agent thing, like what's going on with characters, how much can you do in support of one side and then be a turncoat. Sisters of Sin, those are all women. Sin, torso, slash, hoodwink, launch. It's like a pop band or something. Slug, solo. Gun toting. Person. Spellbinder. Spider. Sundragon. Sunstroke. Super Saber. Supreme Soviet, Fantasia, Perune, Red Guardian 3, Sputnik, Crimson Dynamo, Swarm, not to be confused with Hive. He was in the Spider-Man cartoon on TV. Is the bees made of bees? Yep, there we go. Tarantula, too, a Spider-Man villain, a nemesis. Let's see, test 1. Technet. Scatterbrain, Gatecrasher, Waxworks, Ring Toss, Yap, China Doll, Pharaoh, Joy Boy, Body Bag, Thug, and Numbers. Tombstone, Topaz. Awesome looking hippie chick there. Trader, trick shots. Tiger. Typhoid Mary. So I've been interested. They have not introduced her yet, as far as I know, into the Daredevil show. They've given the Kingpin another love interest, companion, partner. But, you know, Typhoid Mary is scary as hell. Master Menace. Master Axe. Mr. Jip. Looks like an abomination. Like the Thing. Mr. Sinister. Daredevil's buddy, lawyer, metal cape, night shift, misfit, digger, TikTok, the Brothers Grimm. I showed them in my Spider-Woman comic book. North Dakota North, Numinous, looks like the face is a character of Whoopi Goldberg. Orphan Maker. Osborn, Harry Osborn, the Green Goblin. May Parker, Aunt May. The original Aunt May, which is how she's supposed to be. She's an elderly woman, not a young paragon. Persuasion. Shield agent Pierce. Plasma. She's got an onk. And I love shoulder pads. And I like different styles that are not always popular, or sometimes become unpopular because they were popular. Power Princess. Former missionary of the Utopians, now adventurer and crime fighter. So thanks for listening to the Marvel Universe with music. A winter mix. Not much of a cohesive thing here. It's Shield, the Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man, the Venom, the symbiote, Apocalypse. Basically, okay, Silver Surfer is interesting. We'll get into him later. But look at Spider-Man's costume. I'll just talk about this again. You see the highlights. Now, they're blue. And the shadow is black. So is his costume black or blue-black? So, because it's almost always rendered this way, we can say that maybe it's a midnight blue. so that when the light shines on it, it comes out this color blue, and of course when more in shadow, it's more black. But here it's only the two-tone, with the exception of the areas of black and white. But they don't put those in shadow. So the midnight blue color is rendered only in two extremes. This pretty much pure blue, I would say, when you compare it to other, I would say, so here's a dark blue. That looks very regular blue to me, like in mid-tone. And then black, pure midnight black. It's not a lighter shade of gray or something. So that's very interesting to me. It's not a darker blue, it's black. So color theory is very interesting when dealing with how to make things look realistic or render them so that you understand, at least understand. I mean, we could call this cartoonish, but you understand that there's muscles here. You see muscle tone, which has some semblance to realistic human anatomy. Although, he's very much athletic, has an athletic build. So, I'll be getting into the over-muscled, Mr. Olympic sort of steroid-looking muscles, which became more and more popular as bodybuilding and steroid use became more and more popular and common in sports and weightlifting. But it really, these comics do bring into question what we want to be acceptable in modern society as far as, how we should look or how we want to look. And I would like to see a return to more normal physical appearances. I think sometimes in the graphic novels they do that. I'll show that beautiful DC graphic novel I have at some point where they're basically paintings, and the forms tend to be more realistic. Not all, they don't all look the same, So there's more variety and more average body fat to muscle ratio. So just like with supermodels, we don't want them to all be super thin, skinny people. There are average, common people that are very skinny. There are poor people that are very skinny. But some of us like to see full spectrum representation of humanity in various fields, and that gets into equal rights stuff and civil rights. So again, comic books are not just for children. They're written and drawn by adults with adult themes, and that's part of the appeal. Thanks for listening.